seat right there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How's it going?
Hi, guys.
Good to see you. All right, we'll go ahead and get started with the 2022 Mountain West champions, the Fresno State Bulldogs, joined up here on stage by head coach Jeff Tedford, Jake Hainer, the offensive MVP, Cam Lockridge, the defensive MVP, and Evan Williams. We will start with a statement from the head coach, and then we will take questions again for the student athletes. Until you are done, we will dismiss them and then finish with Coach Tedford. Let's start with you, Coach. Well-deserved and a hard-fought victory.
Yeah, it always is. We have a lot of respect for Boise State. I want to congratulate Coach Avalos, his staff, and his team for a great season. Really proud of our kids, obviously, and our coaching staff who have done a great job all year long. And we've come a long way since the first part of the year where a lot of people probably didn't believe in us, but the kids in the locker room did, and the staff did, and nothing more fitting to end it like we did tonight. Just really proud of all these guys. I mean, the work that they put in, the commitment that they make on a daily basis, the belief that they have, the perseverance that they've shown over the year. Just, you know, it's so rewarding to see them so happy. They're still going in the locker room right now. It's got a lot of staying power in there right now. So it's happy to see, it's really nice to see them happy.
Thank you, Coach. Again, if you have a question for student athletes, go ahead and raise your hand. Bridget Howard will bring you the mic. If you can state your name and affiliation before your question, I'd appreciate it. Down in front.
Jason Shatra with the Associated Press. Jake, I wanted to ask you, you know, you might be the poster boy for the grass isn't always greener on the other side with, you know, your situation where you went to the transfer portal and came back and are here today after you're winning a Mountain West championship. Can you talk about that that process for you and, you know, and what, you know, this meant for you to be able to come back and win today?
I mean, I just wanted to be able to come back and play with this great group again. And, you know, obviously that whole situation was tough for me and my family. But, you know, once I got this guy on the other side of the phone, I thought there was no doubt about it that I wanted to be in Fresno and wanted to continue here and be with this group and just play with them for one more season. So it's been awesome. The adversity that we faced together has been one of the biggest challenges in my life, and I definitely won't forget it. So it's been awesome.
For Coach Jackson Moore, 24/7 Sports.
If we can do student athletes first.
Yes.
Thank you.
Same line of question I wanted to ask for Cam Lockridge. As a first-year transfer at Fresno State, can you describe what it means to be in this spot and make the plays you made to help win the championship?
Yeah, you know, I just feel blessed to be here and Coach giving me an opportunity to come and showcase my talents. You know, me and Jake, before when I was in the portal, me and Jake talked a little bit, so we was on the same page in a lot of things, and I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad we won this championship. I just feel blessed that we won this.
You can raise your hand if you have a question for student athletes. Andrew Martin, if we can get the mic back to him.
Thank you. I have two questions. My first one is for Evan, Andrew Martin, KC24, CBS 47 in Fresno. Everybody was emotional after this one, but Evan, you just seemed to kind of take a few extra seconds. What specifically was emotional for you and maybe continues to be emotional for you about this victory?
Man, honestly, just the individual journeys, you know, all of us have been on. You know, me and Jake, obviously, we're struggling with injuries, but, you know, everybody on this team has just dealt with their own, you know, adversity in their own way. And, I mean, we dealt with adversity as a group, you know, starting off 1-4. And, you know, it's easy to come out and, you know, do the same thing, put in the work when it's paying off and you're seeing the results, but it's tough to come out, you know, the week out after a 1-4 record and say, all right, keep doing the same stuff, even when you're not seeing the results. So, you know, just it was honestly just a rush of emotions in that moment, seeing that how happy everybody was, you know, after just dealing with adversity and fighting through it. Yeah, it hit me like a train. I'm not gonna lie. Right after the game, I was just kind of just in awe of the moment, and yeah, it was something special, and I know it's special for a lot of our guys too.
And then question for Jake. Obviously, you guys are on an 8-game winning streak, and you talked earlier in the week, you've talked for a few weeks about how when you and Evan were here back in October, you had the emotion, you talked with Skinner and other players about not playing in this game. Does it mean more to you to be Mountain West champion, having done it against Boise State in the rematch game?
Heck yeah, man. This is the Golden Boy of the conference, one of the premier teams in the conference, and to come up here against one of our biggest rivals, probably if not our biggest rival in the conference, it definitely means more. And I remember saying in the beginning of the week, I wanted it to be hard and I wanted it to be challenging, and those guys on defense presented a really big challenge and made it really difficult for us all night. But just going through the adversity, like Evan said, the ups and the downs, this game teaches you along the journey is uncomparable to any other sport. So getting this win tonight, it was really special.
Jake, can you talk about the adjustments that you guys made at halftime? And last time you guys came here, I know you weren't playing, but it was a tight game at halftime, and you guys didn't score in the second half. But today, the tables were flipped. You guys came out and put up 2 touchdowns to kind of take control of the game. What were you guys able to do and take advantage of Boise State?
I think it starts with defense. I mean, the defense puts you in good positions, and we got to finish our job and score and score touchdowns in the red zone. And Cam obviously had a big time interception to get us really good field position. And
2.
I know, I'm talking about the first one.
Okay.
Gosh.
Just making sure you got it right.
Yeah, the one in the second half. Okay. Just being able to give us great field position, and I think early on in the third quarter, we didn't do a great job on offense with field position. We struggled on first down and put ourselves behind the chains. I think 2 or 3 consecutive drives, and we kind of had to dig ourselves out of that. And the defense, like I said, came to play tonight and had a much better showing, I think, on their side of the ball, and they dominated, man. Got us out of some big time situations and helped us, be able to score touchdowns when we needed to.
Question for really all 3 of you, if you all want to weigh in. Do you have any initial thoughts on going to SoFi Stadium to play in your bowl game?
Can we start? Or you want to start? You can start.
I'm excited. I don't know. I mean, I've never been there, so I've heard just how big it is. It's almost a little unreal. Just how everything. But just excited to play in that environment. Every time you get to play in an environment like that, it's got to be exciting. So, yeah, I'm excited for it.
Do you want to go? Or do you want me to go?
If it's 100 yards, I'm coming to ball.
Yeah.
I like that answer. I said this about Allegiant, and I was telling some of the guys, it's just another opportunity to go play another football game against a really good opponent. It doesn't matter where we play, and we got to bring our best preparation, our best game to that field on any given Saturday. So, I think it's just another great opportunity to play a quality opponent in a Pac-12 school and be able to showcase what we can do against top-tier talent.
Take a couple more for our student athletes before we will let them go. In the back.
Okay. Evan Williams, when I first talked to you in the beginning of the season, you said that your defense was overlooked. What can you say about your defense, and what type of message do you hope to send after this game?
Yeah, I mean, before each matchup, I feel like we show up in the big moments. Say, for example, San Jose State coming in, number 1 offense in the Mountain West, hold them to 10 points. And I wasn't even playing. That was just the guys, taking a chip on their shoulder and just executing. But these big matchups, we see the criticism, we see the doubt, and sometimes our coaches even come and bring it into a meeting and bring it out just to fire us up, bring out a quote or something from a paper. But we take that personal. Jake has led our offense to I mean, they've been so excellent all year, and rightfully so. They deserve the attention and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we understand just our role to back up one of the best offenses in the country. And when we come into big matchups like these, we know the spotlight's going to be on us at some point in the game, and we're going to have to make a play to change the game. And yeah, I mean, just it's a testament to, you know, our preparation, how hard we worked throughout the week, and just, you know, holding your emotions in and just harnessing that and letting it all out on the field and just executing. And, I mean, our defense has stepped up in some big ways this season, and stepped up in a big way today.
Final question for our student athletes in the back.
Jake, this is for you. Coach Avalos talked about the momentum change he kind of felt after the roughing the punter late third quarter. I think it was a one-score game, gave your offense another chance on the field. Did you sense kind of that momentum, and what was the mindset leading the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think special teams obviously played a huge factor in the game tonight from start to finish. And obviously when you get a second chance like that, when you're 4th and 15 at about midfield, and you know, can get inside their territory and have an opportunity to get more points in a critical championship game, that's always huge. And yeah, I mean, you got to take advantage of those opportunities when they give them to you. And I definitely felt the momentum shift, and I kind of just told the guys in that moment, you got to just relax and just try to take advantage of what they're giving us right now. And obviously we executed and got some points on the board.
Jake, Cam, Evan, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
You guys are awesome.
It's been an honor.
Go Dogs.
We'll continue our Q&A session with Coach Tedford. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll get the microphone over you. In the back here, we'll start with Andrew Martin.
Thank you. Coach, I think you would know obviously better than me. I think David Perales only played that first play, right? Were you expecting him to play a bit more in this game?
No, it was really dependent on how he was going to come along in pregame. He wanted to play so bad, but it's really hard to rehab an ankle like that in a week. He did his best. He played more than one play. He played a couple plays. We were just going to see what he could do on third down. I don't know exactly how many plays he played, but you know, it couldn't have been more than 5 or 10. But we just wanted to see what he could do. He was just chomping at the bit to play. I know he was devastated that he couldn't make more of an impact because he's been such a big part of our defense. You know, but it was a tough injury he had, and so hopefully he's back for the bowl game.
Everybody's been talking about special teams, and rightly so. I mean, I guess if there's a general or a blanket statement you'd like to say, from Montano's missed kick to Nico's punt return for a touchdown, how would you describe the impact that special teams had today?
Well, I thought it was complimentary football all the way around, really. The defense played outstanding, and the return from Nico was big. Coach Baxter does such a phenomenal job, and our players have such a belief in what's going on there. I think when we got that kick, it was a low punt, and they were kind of calling it on the sideline that here it goes, you know, and I thought it was very well executed. It's how we practiced it. And Nico, not only that, but his kickoff returns, he is such a dynamic player. And so he made a huge impact on the game tonight, not only in special teams, we made a few big catches as well. But I thought complimentary football was there tonight. We really struggled in the third quarter offensively. We got behind the sticks. We were backed up, poor field position, and the defense stiffened up and didn't let them in the end zone. And then thankfully, you know, someone asked about that roughing the punter. I thought that did create a lot of momentum to help us get more field position, flip the field, and then score a couple touchdowns. But I thought our defense played excellent. But special teams did their job. Offense didn't turn the football over, which was big. Anytime you don't turn the football over, you stand a chance. But I thought it was complimentary football.
Coach, can you talk about what this championship means for you. I mean, come back and the start that you guys did have and some of the injuries and things that you had to fight through. But you personally coming back a second time here to Fresno State and what, able to win another championship here.
Yeah, really, it has nothing to do with me. It's not about me. It's about this coaching staff. It's about our players. It's about all the support staff. I mean, you can go from our strength staff to our training room to our academic staff, just the whole environment that's around there on a daily basis. I think that's really critical on what the culture is, on what we do every single day. And the seniors on this team have done a really nice job of providing leadership, because this starts all the way back in January. It starts from the weightlifting, the meetings, the running, camp. You could go all the way down, right? The summer program. But I think it's a little more special because of the way we started. That was, and I think Jake made mention to it, or one of them made mention to it, that while we were disappointed in the beginning, we weren't discouraged. And it's hard when you go into fourth quarters of games and you work so hard and you don't come out with a reward, to keep coming back the next day and to still have the same attitude and the same belief. But these kids did. And so thankfully, we're able to kind of get on a roll here, and the belief kept growing. And, we knew we had a good football team, but we ran into some adversity. And it's not just football. I think one of our jobs as football coaches and educators is to teach life lessons. And I think the adversity that they overcame early in this year is a life lesson that they can take well into their own life.
Coach, about 12 months ago, when you took the job, you talked about learning the transfer portal, and you had receivers and cornerbacks, but you brought in Nico Remigio and Cam Lockridge, and they really swung this game. What was it like to see the offseason moves play out in front of your eyes with the trophy on the line?
Yeah, that's really rewarding. The portal, really for me is something new, and I think it's just going to continue. But to have those kids come into our program and kind of buy into what we were doing and what the culture is, and it didn't happen overnight. Some of the transfer portal kids who came into the program, you don't just buy into something on day one. It's the investment that you put into it that kind of grows that, and that commitment. And these kids have. I saw it happen right in front of us. Nico was a guy who was committed from day one and really earned the respect of his teammates because of his work ethic. And I'm so proud of Nico because he had a tough decision to make on what he was going to do, and he took a big chance coming to our program. And I'm so happy that things have turned out the way they have for him, that he's made such an impact on special teams, offensively. And I'm just really happy that he's leaving with the conference championship, and he's had a lot to do with it.
Time winding down for Coach here, a couple more.
Coach, on the flip side of that, one of your maybe your best recruiting job was keeping Jake here. Can you talk about, he mentioned a phone call. Can you talk a little bit about what happened and how you were able to, you recruited him initially, but never got to coach him, until you came back. Can you talk a little about that situation and what you're able to do to get him to stay?
Yeah, well, I didn't have to do much. Actually, I think Jake got a bad rap. Because if anyone was in his shoes and you had a coaching change and you have 1 year left of eligibility and you have the opportunity to go to a place with a coaching staff that what kind of offense they run, so on and so forth. He had no idea. They could have ran the triple option at Fresno State, so he didn't know that, right? So he had to make the decision at that point because he didn't have enough information at the time to know what the future of Fresno State or who the coach was going to be. So he had to do what was best for him at that time. And so when the decision was made and I was fortunate enough to be hired to come back here And then I think it was pretty easy because at that point, he knew what the direction of the program was going to be. He knew what the culture was going to be. And I think he had trust in what the future was going to be. And so, I thought in the beginning, Jake got a really bad rap for that. But we're really happy he came back. Him and I have a long relationship. We worked together back when, I don't know what he was, 9 years old or something. And I love Jake. He brings passion to the building every single day. We're there. He's the first guy in the building every single day, always with a smile on his face, always enthusiastic. Even days when I'm tired and I'm walking through there, and he lifts me up every day. And he's infectious to our team. He really is. And we're just really happy that he's on our football team. He's a great football player, but a great person as well, a great leader for us.
Last questions, Matt.
JTS, KTVB. Jeff, if you don't mind, Taylor Green tonight, what were you guys able to do to, obviously contain him? And he's a guy that over the last month and a half hasn't really turned the ball over, and he did that a couple of times tonight. Why'd you guys have such good success against him this evening?
Yeah, I thought our defensive coordinator and staff did a really nice job of mixing up coverages with him, put a little bit of pressure on him. And then I thought we didn't, you're never going to stop him completely because he's so athletic as a runner. So he got free on a couple runs. But then I thought our guys did a really nice job of corralling him in the open field because he's so athletic, he's hard to bring down in the open field. So I thought our guys did a nice job of tackling him in the open field. Mixing up the coverages, we got some tip balls, things like that, but a little bit of pressure to make him a little bit uncomfortable in the pocket. Maybe made him throw it before he wanted to throw it. And then, obviously the guys, we dropped another one and hit us right in the hands, but I thought really our defensive staff did a nice job of coming in with a plan, and the kids executed it.
We got one last question from Andrew Martin, then we're done.
One more question, Coach. Going back to Jake, obviously there's still one more game left in your season, in his career at Fresno State. He's wearing a retired number. Do you feel like he's lived up to the legacy of Kevin Sweeney by wearing number 9 at Fresno State?
I don't think there's any doubt about it. We typically, when we have retired numbers, we ask permission of those people for people to wear their numbers. And Kevin was nice enough to allow that to happen. And I forget what it was. There was a few games ago where Jake had a really big game. And I text Kevin, I said, he's really doing your number proud. And he says, yes, he was very proud of Jake. So I think Kevin is really proud of the way Jake has played, the way he's conducted himself, because it's not just about the play on the field. It's about the character off the field, about what you do in the classroom. It's the whole thing, and so I think if you were to ask Kevin, I think he would agree that he's very proud of Jake.
Thank you, Coach. That concludes our post-game press conference. Congratulations on winning another Mountain West championship, Coach.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.